Good morning, class. Have a seat. So, anyone can recall about our discussion yesterday? Oh, yes, Miss Carla. Okay, so our topic yesterday was all about Japanese literature and well-known authors. So, we discussed certain literature and how it affects their culture. So, Mr. Jigo, can you tell us those well-known authors in Japanese? Yes, very well said, Mr. Jigo. So, the five well-known authors that we discussed yesterday was Junichiro Tajinaki, Osamu Dazal, Tomiko Inshi, Yuko Ogawa, and Matsuo Basho. So for now discussion, we're going to tackle about Mr. Matsuo Basho. So this is Matsuo Basho right there. So this is Matsuo Basho from Japanese literature, one of the well-known authors. So just like what Carla said, we discussed about yesterday the Japanese literature and how it affects into their culture. So we also know that the authors and their literary thesis. So for this discussion, let will tackle the masterpiece of Matsuo Basho, The Age of Mother. So in this row, can you please read the first paragraph? Okay, so long ago, there lived at the foot of the mountain a poor farmer and his aged widowed mother. So a long time ago, there was there was a poor farmer and his aged widowed mother. So the poor farmer has no father at all. So they owned a bit of land which supplied them with food, and they were humble, peaceful, and happy. So they were only lived for a normal life. They have food, humble and peaceful, and a happy life. So in this row, can you please read the next paragraph? So Shining was governed by a despotic leader who took a warrior. So in that place, there was a leader who also known as a warrior. Had a great court shrinking from anything suggestive of feeling health and strength. So that leader has a problem with his health and strength. So he has more physical issues. So this caused him to send out a cruel proclamation. The entire province was given a strict orders to immediately put to death old age people. So that leader has give an instruction to all the community that those old age people was need to be executed or be banished in the community. So these were barbarous days, and the custom of abandoning old people to die was not uncommon. So kato panahon na to die and to banish the old people was not common. So the poor farmer loved his aged mother with tender reverence, and the order filled his heart with sorrow. But no one ever thought twice about obeying the mandate of the governor. So with many deep and hopeless sighs, the youth for what at that time was considered the kindest mode of death. So even though sakit sa buot sa the poor farmer na iyang mama iyang bidaan sa mountain, but he had nothing to do because it was the order of the governor at that time. So just at sundown, when his day's work was ended, he took a quantity of unwhitened rice, which was the principal food for the poor. So before at sundown, pagkauman sa iyong trabaho, so he gathered unwhitened rice. So kaya unwhitened rice, that was the common food for the poor people. So he cooked, dried it, and tied it in a square cloth, which is swung in the bundle around his neck, along with a gourd filled with a cold sweet water. So he gathered some food and then a water through his neck. Then he lifted his helpless old mother to his back and started on his painful journey up the mountain. So after that, he gathered some food and then he lifted his mother at his back. So the road was long used sleep. The narrow road was crossed and crossed by many paths made by the hunters and woodcutters. In some places they lost and confused, but he gave no heed. So one path or another, it mattered not. When he went climbing blindly upward towards the high verse summit of what is known as Ubatsuyama. So they go in a mountain called Ubatsuyama. So the mountain of the abandoning of the age. So that mountain was also called as an abandoning of the age. So even though when they travel up at the mountain, so there are many paths now, pre-cross and cross. So the eyes of the old mother were not so dim, but that denoted the reckless hastening from one path to another. Her loving heart grew anxious. Her son did not know the mountain many paths, and his return might be one of the danger. So she stretched forth her hand, and snapping the twigs from the branches as they passed, she quietly dropped a handful every few steps of the way, so that as they climbed, the narrow path behind them was dotted at frequent intervals with tiny piles of twig. So when the old mother was at the back of his poor child, so he was so anxious that that the poor farmer might be mawaya sila sa pagbalik nila because of the paths that cross and recross. So that ay agihanan ito nga bukid. So the old mother think of the situation of his poor child. So he grabbed a tiny twig. So he grabbed a tiny twig and then put on there tuan. Isa ilang giagihanan ibutang ni kay parang pag uli sa iyang bata dili mawaya. So it was a frequent interval. So lagyo siya. At the last, the summit was reached, weary and heartsick. The youth gently released his burden and silently prepared a place of comfort as his last duty to the loved one. Gathering fallen pine needles, so ang inalibutang is fallen pine needles. He made a soft potion and tenderly lifted his old mother onto it. He wrapped her padded coat more closely about the stooping shoulders, and with tearful eyes and an aching heart, he said farewell. So when they reached the mountain, so he put his mother at the fallen pine needles. So nagkimo sila dito o kibali to make his mother comfortable na mag-ingkot ng mother. So pagkabutang ninja, he padded coat more closely. So kuana ninja og coat ang iyang mother, while his tearful eyes and aching heart he said farewell. So sakit sa iyang buot, he said his farewell. So he said goodbye to his mother. The trembling mother's voice was full of unselfish love as she gave her last injection. So after that, even though his mother was afraid or something like he was scared about his son, so she said, "Let not thine eyes be blinded, my son." She said, "The mountain road is full of dangers. Look carefully and follow the path which hold the pile of twigs." So he said to his old son that you must know, I hope that you are not be blinded by the paths, and please follow the twigs that she put while they were in journey. So ilang ani na isang anak. We will guide you to the familiar path farther down. So ilagay isang anak na sunda ang akong ibutang ng mga twigs kaya para makauli ka. And then the son's surprised eyes looked back over the path. Then at the poor old shriveled hands, all scratched and soiled by the work of love, his heart broke within the bowing to the ground. He cried aloud, "Oh honorable mother, your kindness break my heart. I will not leave you. Together we will follow the path twigs, and together we will die." So after he heard what his mother said, so he was so nakuan siya sa istorya sa iyang mother. So he said, "Oh honorable mother, your kindness break my heart." So ang kindness ko sa iyang mama, nasakitan ka siya kaano kay bisag ang ilang tumong dito nga bisaan sa iyang mama sa katong mountain. Though waya gyapon na simple sa iyang mama kay nag-amping gyapon sa iyang nga dapat kuno makauli siya true nga sa katong twigs nga iyang gibilin. So we will not leave you, together we will follow the path twigs, and together we will die. So why the poor farmer said that together we will die? So it is because kung pagbalik nila dito og naghapoy siyang mama, so clearly the governor was clearly said that kung ang imong old mother na dili mo i-banish or dili mo patyon or something like that, makuan siya maapil ka og pagka banish. So magdungan mo kuan i-execute mo or something like that nga i-execute mo. So mo na nakaingon ang poor farmer nga together we will die. Once more he shouldered his burden. How light it seemed now. So gidayan din ang mabutang at then he lifted his mother at her back. So at that time kuan na kuno light na kuno ganay na kuno isang pagdaya sa isang mother. While katong pag saka pa nila sa mountain bukat pa kaado isang daya. Pero pag lungsong na nila ganay na. It is because na-realize nila nga isang mother, ang love sa isang mother kanang be measured. So down the path through the shadows and moonlight. So pag lungsong nila ngikit ito kay kuan naman after the sundown naman. So wala na adlaw. And then, to the little hut in the valley beneath the kitchen floor was warm closet for food. So when they came at their house, so dito sa butanganan sa ilang mga pagkaon, mga storage, which was covered and hidden from view. So nakatago to nga place sa ilang bahay. There, the son hid his mother. Taguan niya ng mama. And then, supplying her with everything she need. Continually watching and fearing she would be discovered. Time passed and he was beginning to feel safe when again the governor sent forth heralds bearing an unreasonable order. So when nang kalmado na to siya, relax na, then nangabot ang upat ka heralds sa governor with an announcement. So na-announcement ang four heralds. Then what did the heralds say? So this demand was his subject should present him with a rope of ashes. So ang four heralds, ang announcement nila is kinahanglan ko sa ilang community na ay makahatag sa governor ng rope of ashes. So rope of ashes, so makaingon na nga most likely it was impossible because ashes na ganyan siya. So dili na nato na siya kuan kung namagani rope pero madugmok ra siya malata kay isunog naman mo kay rope of ashes. So it seems like it was impossible to do mo nga una-unaon. So the next one is the entire province trembled with dread. The order must be obeyed. Yet who in of shining could make a rope of ashes. One night in great disgrace, the son whispered the news to his aged mother. Wait, she said. So after nakabati itong poor farmer sa announcement sa governor, he told his mother. And then his mother said, wait, I will think. On the second day, she told him what to do. So after the next day, the mother told his poor son to come up with an idea. Make a rope of twisted straw. So this is the instruction that was given by his mother. Make a rope of twisted straw, she said. Then stretch it up on a row of flat stones and burn it on a windless night. So, what the instruction sa isang mother? So, kinahanglan ko nung maghimo ka og kuan rope of that was made by straw. And then, put in the flat stone and then burn it. So, mo na instruction sa isang mother. And then, he called the people together and did as you said, and when the blaze died down, there upon the stones with every twist and fiber showing perfectly, lay a rope of ashes. So, after the poor farmers heard the instruction of his mother, he told the people, he gathered din siya and then told what to do. So, pagkahuman sa pagsunog nila, dito na come up ang rope of ashes. So, nakabutang na dito sa pile of flat stone. The governor was pleased at the weight of youth. So, ipakita na dito sa governor and then na-pleased ang governor when he said the work of the youth and praised greatly. But he demanded to know where he had obtained his wisdom. But after the governor pleased the youth, so he was furious nga dis ana kuha sa mga youth to nga idea. Alas, cried the farmer. So Manila experienced farmer. The truth must be told. And with deep bows he related his story. So he retold na niya iyang story. The governor listened and meditated in silence. So, namati ang governor and then nauna siya sakto. And then finally he lifted his head. So istorya na sa poor farmer ang iyang kaaging nga ang katong idea, it was come up with his mother. Finally, he lifted his head. So the governor lifted his head and shining needs more than a street of youth. So maunay na istorya sa governor. Shining needs more than strength of youth. So, ang shining is, pwede, ang ilaming lugar pa kahit sa ilang lugar. So, shining needs more than strength of youth, he said verbally. That should I have forgotten the well-known saying, with a crown of snow, there come a wisdom. That very hour, the cruel law was abolished. So, mao to'y naingon sa governor nga, ang shining kuno kinahanglan o wisdom nga mas labaw pa sa youth. And then, he said quote that, with a crown of snow, there come a wisdom. So, even though puti ang buhok na sa mga tinuwang or something like that, naagha po yung wisdom or experience. So, the well-known saying, with a crown of snow, there come a wisdom. That very hour, the cruel law was abolished. So, in that time, i-abolish nila ang isang law nga katong mga aged mother or mga aged people kinahanglan na i-abolish. So, banish na ito nila, giwaya na nila kaya na maka-realize siya nga mas daghang experience ang mga aged people than the youth. So, and custom drifted into as far as a past that only legends remain. So, that was the story of the aged mother. So, I have this, the moral lesson, the theme, and the conclusion. As you can see, the moral lesson of the story is the aged mother taught us that we should take care, love, and respect. So that was the moral lesson of the story. That our parents, because no matter what happens, may it be in life and death situation, they will surely and will always choose to save us. So that was the moral lesson of the story nga. Kinahanglan ubaon na to atong ginikanan kay they will repay you in much more than that. So the love of the mother was cannot be measured by any things. So the story is about mother's love. So the whole story is all about the mother's love. It's something that no one can explain because it is made with deep devotion, sacrifice, and understanding, and pain. The way that the aged mother made a way so that she could have assurance that her son can go home safely. So katong time nga ibutangan niya ang twigs ang amihan kay para pag uli siyang son dili mawaya. So that was deeply love nagipakita sa mother. So the conclusion of the whole story is the aged mother is a story of the experience or wisdom of the elderly and the power of love. In the end, the young son was able to save his mother's life by seeking his guidance and wisdom, and she helped her mother and takes care of her. So that was the conclusion of the whole story. So for now, we are going to have an assessment or an evaluation. So can you please get a 1/4 sheet of paper we're having the quiz about our discussion. So there's only 5 items that I would like to share with you, and it is only a multiple choice, so a 1/4 is good enough. So are you ready, class? Okay. So direction, encircle the correct or just choose the correct answer and write the correct answer in your 1/4 sheet of paper. So multiple choice naman, so A, B, C, or D, I, butang sa inyong paper. So number 1, who are the characters in the story? A, poor writer, widowed father, democratic leader. B, poor salesman, widowed father, aristocratic leader. C, poor farmer, widowed mother, despotic leader. Or D, poor carpenter, widowed mother, and autocratic leader. So that was the question. Number 2, where is the setting of the folktale? So kanay this is a folktale. So bisama ko ang setting ani nga story. A, Shining. B, Shinano. C, Shinani. D, Shinuki. Number 3, if you were the farmer, will you do the same? So kung ikaw ko yung farmer, will you do the same? A. So A, yes, because each person weak and fragile. B, no, because each person experienced enough. And enough to advise the younger. C, because each person can no longer lead the group. D, no, because each person deserves attention and care. Number 4, what do you think are the common fears of powerful and rich that reflected in the folktale? So, unsa mo nito ipakita sa powerful and rich? So, katong governor, unsa may ipakita nga attitude? E, they are afraid to lose their fame. B, they are afraid to become a poor. Or C, they are afraid to lose their control over the communers. Or D, they're afraid to become weak and useless, I mean. Number 5, do you agree with order of the governor? E, yes, because each people cannot do any work. B, no, because he has no right to kill anyone. Or C, yes, because they have dense population. And D, no, because even people are old, you can still learn something from them. So that's all, and I want to gather your paper. And after that, I have an assignment that I need you to do. I have an assignment. So I'm done with this. So we're going to share with you your assignment, and it will be passed tomorrow at the same time at my class hour. So can you please take note about the assignment? This is the assignment. After reading the Japanese folktale, the each mother, write a 3-paragraph reflective essay. So that was your assignment. Kinahanglan ramang suwat na reflective essay. A 3-paragraph was good enough so that di na mo kaya mag-isod. A reflective essay ra mo yung kahalo sa inyo. So that's all, and that's all for today's discussion, and I hope that you learned something from today's discussion. So let's say next time. Thank you.